In this video, I am going to continue what I have been doing in Hammurabi's epilogue, a continuation, a review, as well as a revision of the law code of Hammurabi, looking at the Akkadian grammar. And I think I stopped at line 31, actually 930 and following. I'll read it in Akkadian. Nakri alish u saplish asuh. The enemies above and below I tore out. Kablatim ubeli, of war I caused to extinguish. Notice as we look just briefly at the grammar here, we have the verb asuch, to tear out. It's a G preterite, third masculine singular from nasachu, to tear out. And then war, notice he says, I extinguish. Kablatim ubeli. In other words, I brought peace, is what he's saying. And ubeli is a D preterite, first common singular from belu, to extinguish, a final long U verb. So I extinguish. Then we come to line 34. As we continue then, it reads, Shirmatim utib. The flesh of the land I made glad. Shir is in construct with matim, a genitive with the em ending, singular. Utiv, I made glad. Utiv, by the way, is I made good. It's a D preterite, first common singular from tiabu, to be good. So I made good. And then continuing in this sort of small dose of Akkadian, we could say, Nishi dadmi aburi usharbit. The people in places of river ways I cause to rest. And just looking at this for just a moment, Nishi would be the people of Dadmi, from Dadmu, of river ways, genitive plural, in places, I should say, or settlements of river ways, Aburi, I cause to rest, Sharbits. Sharbits is from Rabatsu, meaning to rest. It's a sheen preterite, third masculine singular, from Rabatsu, to lay down. So I cause to recline in places of water pastures. The genitive plural of these nouns is indicated here by the I suffix. And I'm reminded as I read this of Psalm 23:2, where it reads concerning Yahweh, Benot Desha Yarbitseni. In green pastures, he causes me to recline. A cognate verb, rabats, to recline, which I think is related here in a cognate way from rabatsu, to recline in Akkadian. So as we go on, it reads Mugalitam ul usha rishishinati. To the one who disturbs, indeed, I punish them, or I set right. Notice here, as we look at this from the Hebrew, he's describing how he punishes those that would disturb. Look at the text with me for just a moment. Mugalitam, the one who would disturb, I or frighten. Indeed, ul, I punish them. Usha, usharshi shinati, from Rashu, I cause them to be punished. Another shin, preterite, third masculine singular, with the pronominal suffix in shinati. I cause them to be punished. So the great gods, Dingar Galgal, Ubu Ninima Anakuma, that is, the great gods called to me, and I became Reum Mushalima. I became the shepherd who brings order, or who brings salvation. Notice the great gods, the Dingar Galgal, Dingar meaning God, in Sumerian, and the Akkadian would be Ilu Rabutim, the great gods. Ibu Ninima, called to me, that end, in other words, the great gods called me. Ibu Ninima is a G preterite, third masculine plural from Nabu, to call, plus a dative suffix to me, followed by the conjunction ma. And so the great gods who called to me, and notice how he claims to be the shepherd who brings salvation. I became Sippa Musha Mushalimum. Rium is the Akkadian of the Sumerian Sippa, shepherd, who brings order or salvation. Mushalimum. Notice here, Reum means shepherd who brings peace. Reum, by the way, is a nominative singular noun followed by the D participle masculine singular from Mushalimum, from Shalimum, which is from the verb shalamu, to bring peace. So Hammurabi claims to be a shepherd who brings peace. As I look at the New Testament, Jesus said, I am the good shepherd who brings peace and order and gathers believers as his sheep. Interesting, somewhat of a parallel imagery in John 10:1. And then as we read on in the verses that follow, verse 44, Shah Gish Gidri Shu, whose scepter, Shah is a relative pronoun, whose, Hatashu means scepter, whose from Gidri is the Sumerian, and Hatashu would be whose his scepter is Isharat, is righteous. And notice here, Isharat is the G stative, feminine singular from Asheru, whose scepter is righteous. And then as we continue, Sili Tabum, my good shadow, my shadow, good. Sili is the pronominal suffix in the E from the word shadow. My good shadow, Ana Aliyah, over the city, Taritz is spread. Notice Taritz here is a G stative, third masculine singular from Taratsu, to spread over, is spread. And then, as we read the next line. Notice, my scepter is righteous, my good shadow is spread over the city, and in my bosom the people of the land of Sumer and Akkad I carry. Ina Utliya Nishimat Shumerim Uakadim Ukil. So Ina Utliya would be in my bosom. Ya is your pronominal suffix, first person singular. And Ina takes the genitive case. In my bosom, preposition, Utli meaning bosom. The peoples of the land, Nishimat from Nishum, the peoples of the land of Sumer and Akkad, Sumerim Akkadim, Ukil, I carried. It's interesting that Ina Utliya, in my bosom, Utliya, as we said, is a noun genitive singular with a pronominal suffix, first common singular from Utlu, meaning bosom. So Hammurabi carried his people as a shepherd. It's interesting to me in Isaiah 40, the Lord carries the returning exiles from Babylon in his bosom as a shepherd that carries sheep. I'm going to stop there and pick it up. This is a challenge to me to keep my Akkadian going. So we end at that point.